really get down to what their blocks are, I guess, with money, what their patterns are with money, what their programming is with money, is to find out what their energetic relationship is to money. So everybody can do this right now, actually, if you want to, just visualize, imagine.
Hey beautiful, welcome to Naturally Empowered Living, your safe space to guiding you on your unapologetic self-awakening journey. This is your weekly sanctuary for waking up from autopilot and transforming the way you approach life through the power of meditation, energetics, and root cause therapy. It is my mission to help you heal unprocessed emotions and release stuck energies by alchemizing your struggle cycles into opportunities for deep self-love, awareness, trust, and connection, to return to your innate essence of being, stepping back into your energy of alignment. Because here, we honor all parts of ourselves, the messy and the magic, the shadows and the light, embodying all parts that make you, you. So if you are ready to get to the root of cultivating real change, get cozy, grab your journal and maybe favorite crystals, and let's discover our power within together. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Naturally Empowered Living podcast. This is your host, guide, and mentor in all things energetics, emotions, and self-awakening, Jenna Smith. And I am so excited for today's conversation. Oh my goodness. We have the opportunity, opportunity isn't even the right word. Like, I'm just so grateful to be joined through the mic with Lynnsey today, a spiritual hypnotherapist, founder of the Align Your Mind app, I need to know more, and co-host of two podcasts, Hi Vibin and Spiritual Kinks. Also very intriguing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Lynnsey and I just met a few minutes ago, but we already we're just hitting it off and we're like, we need to hit record because we were just getting too in the depths already. So, Lynnsey's work is centered around guiding women into soul alignment by helping them release blocks, awaken their intuition, and manifest their highest timeline with more ease and flow. By golly, I'm so excited to dive in. Lynnsey, hi, welcome to the show.
Oh my gosh, hi. Yes, we are definitely best friends now. And I gotta say, I love going on podcasts in general, but I love it even more when I'm so energetically aligned with the host, like already off the bat. Like without podcasts, we would be friends anyway.
Yeah.
And we don't live that far from each other, which is very funny also.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very excited to be here and talk about all things energy and just upliftment, empowerment. And it's a great day to do this. I don't know when this is going to air, but June 9th, astrologically, girl, what are you doing? Are you doing something to manifest today?
I have actually
now I'm asking the questions.
No, I love it. I love it. I love it. After this call with you, I'm actually hopping on another business opportunity call, which was completely talk about manifesting and how the ease of everything going into it. So it's kind of like a mysterious day for me because I have no idea what's coming with this next call when we hop off. So
how
yeah,
exciting.
and then I have a block before I have to go get the kids. So I'm really excited. I'm kind of just letting things fly. What about you?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because yesterday to get ready for this, I made a video on my Instagram and TikTok about I don't know, I'm not an astrologer. What I do know is it's a great day for manifesting, and that's what I'm good at. So I gave really easy bite-sized ways to set intentions and manifest through the day. So I'm doing those today. I'm going to be writing down 9 intentions because it's the 9th. And I just think that feels good to me. You guys can pick a different number if you want. There are no rules. Everyone's making it up. Okay. So just do what you want to do. Louder for the people in the back. No one knows. Just do what you want. Anyway, so I'm writing 9 intentions. I'm also refreshing my money bowl because my cat broke my last one, which I think is an energetic release in itself. Thank you. Thank you, cat, for doing that for me. I needed to refresh it anyway. So I'm doing that today. And yeah, just really, I grounded already. I connected with my spirit team, my guides, my aligned ancestors, my angels, my goddesses. I just bring in the whole team all day. I'm like, show me how good today can be. I'm so excited for you to surprise me in the best way. And one of my friends, one of my dear friends, I was just on his podcast, Nimesh Radia, he likes to say, show up and show off to his guides. And I think that's so cute. So if you want to do that, that's fun too. And if you're listening to this not on June 9th, just do these anyway. This is so fun, guys.
Exactly. Well, this is airing Monday. What is Monday? The 15th. I
Okay,
moved my
good.
schedule around because I knew I had a feeling. I'm also not an astronomer, astrologist, but I'm very passionate about
Yes,
mental.
we're
So,
enthusiastic, okay,
yeah.
about these things, but I don't know every little. My friend could tell you the transits and what it means,
Yeah.
and pull up your chart and tell you everything about yourself. I cannot do that. I just know
Yeah.
what people tell me, and I agree. And
And
I'm
you're like,
like,
I've been feeling this. Now I have the
yeah,
answer. I see why.
exactly. You don't
Yeah.
have to tell me twice to start writing intent. You do not have to tell me twice
Yeah.
where, when, and where, and I'll do it. I mean, we definitely need to be doing this and being intentional every single day. But on days like this where it's more potent,
Hmm.
it just feels good. And why the heck are we here if not to feel good? You know?
Oh, say that again. Like, seriously.
I mean,
Seriously.
we did come here to feel it all. True, we did come here in this human realm to feel the ups and the downs, the highs and lows, and the contrast and the alignment. But every single chance you get, if you're not using it to feel as good as possible, like what are you doing? There's no
Exactly.
prize for suffering, you know?
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I'm
I
just gonna
love
keep
it.
going.
No, I love it. Well, let's go back just a little bit. I want to hear
Okay.
about you. Like share just
Yeah.
who you are, where you're from, why you're here, why you're here, what you're doing. Like
Oh my
let's just
God.
do it all.
That's a big one. Okay.
Mhm.
So, how do I start this? Well, I guess I was a weird kid, you know. I think the best people are
Mhm.
were weird kids. I have weird kids. I'm obsessed with them. But I think the best people they turn out to be the best people. So not that I am the best person. I'm not trying to say I'm the best person. You guys know what I'm trying to say.
It's a
I
perspective.
love
Yeah.
weird kids. I love people who grew up from being a weird kid because they tend to be some of my favorite people. So I take it as a compliment when I think back of how many times I was like, I felt weird.
Hmm.
But I was always in the cemetery, like touching the gravestones, like how did this person die, and like trying to intuit like how they died.
Yeah.
Weirdo. Why would I do that? I was like 13 or 12. Like, well, who's doing that? But I always was just so fascinated with like the unseen. Okay. So, like,
Yeah.
spirit, what it means to be human. I didn't have these words then, but like metaphysics and the soul and the higher self and what is going on here, you know? And I kind of translated that as a kid to being a ghost hunter. I really wanted to be a ghost hunter badly. And then it translated into forensic psychology. I needed to know what was going on in the brains of like
Hmm.
serial killers and people who do really violent things. What is going on in your brain that's not going on in mine? Like, how are we different?
Hmm.
Psychology has always fascinated me too. And then I realized very quickly, I'm not cut out for that. Nope. No, thank you. Thank you to all the people who do this.
Hmm.
Couldn't be me. It's too much. I am a fairy butterfly. I can't.
Yeah.
if if you don't clap, I will die. You know, if I don't,
Mhm.
it's like if you don't believe in fairies, I die. But yeah, I can't really be in that realm too much. But so right around that time, I was 19 or 20. I was like, what am I gonna do? Because I can't be doing forensic psychology, criminology. This is not me. I was in college studying it. I was already actively doing it, and I was like, I can't do this. My sister, around the time, not related but is related, gave me a book called Journey of the Soul, Journey of Souls, Destiny of Souls. I read them both, but I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Destiny of Souls first. That is by Michael Newton, who is a hypnotherapist who took his clients to the life between life state
Mhm.
and recounted their experiences. What happens when you choose a body, when you choose your family? What are soul groups? What are soul mates? And what do you take with you into your next, that
Mhm.
lit something up in me that I could not explain. And I was like, this is it. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Like this is more true than anything anyone's ever said. And
Mhm.
just briefly, I grew up people my whole life desperately trying to get me to be a Christian, desperately. Not just my mother, who was very, very Christian, but my friends, my boyfriend at the time was heavy, heavy Christian. My people I ended up staying with for a little while before I moved to California were very Christian. They said, you can stay with us as long as you go to church with us on Sunday. Like people were really trying to get me into church. And I just didn't stick, it just
Mhm.
never felt the way that people said it should feel for
Mhm.
me,
Mhm.
until I read this book and I was like, well, that's why I'm not supposed to be doing that. I'm supposed to be doing this. I want to be a hypnotherapist. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I'm telling you, it was just like that. Like it was like an
Yeah.
awakening. Stuff clicked into place. My whole body lit up. It checked boxes and answered questions I didn't even know I existed.
Mhm.
And that's how it's supposed to feel for anyone wondering. Like if you have a soul push, that is how it's supposed to feel. That's
Yeah.
how that feels. I know that now, but at the time I was like, I can't explain it, but I'm moving to California because I knew Michael Newton had an institute Northern California. So I was
Mhm.
like, I'm just gonna move to California. My boyfriend at the time was like, cool, I'm gonna come with you. I was like, no, sorry, bud, you gotta stay here. I'm going by myself. So I it wasn't working out anyway, by the way. It was a very, very toxic high school, college
Mhm.
relationship that just was no good. So I ended up just going by myself. I found roommates online, roommates.com.
Mhm.
Every time I say that, people are like, you did what?
But
But
still, like, yeah.
but there's still some of my closest friends, like
Mhm.
I still talk to them. I still vibe with them. Like they're great ladies. And I just love them. And so I was very lucky to find really good roommates, but I didn't end up going to that institute because of where I moved was like LA, Southern California. And so it was nowhere near. I didn't know. I was just like,
Mhm.
let me get to California
Let's
and then
get
I'll
out.
figure it
Yeah.
out. But then you get to California and you have to actually pay bills. You have to actually live in one of the
Mhm.
most expensive cities on the planet. And so I kind of put hypnotherapy on the back burner for about 6 or 7 years, just paying
Mhm.
bills and figuring out life. I was not going to be one of those people that moves to LA and then has to move back home because they couldn't hack it. I was not going to do that. I'm an Aries. I'm not doing that.
Mhm.
And a Sagittarius rising. So there's a lot of fire and
Yeah.
stubbornness in my chart. So I was just, it was not an option. It ended up taking me meeting the most wonderful man. I know now, like I said, I was going to learn hypnotherapy and to be a hypnotherapist, but I really was going there to meet my family, which is my husband and my kids.
Mhm.
Absolutely 100%. Hypnotherapy was also part of it. But if you asked me, why'd you move to California? I'll be like, oh, my husband was there.
Mhm.
I just didn't know it yet. But I met him and we got married. We had a son. And it wasn't until I had my son that I was like, I don't want to go back to working retail. I don't want to be a manager of an office.
Mhm.
I don't want to work 40, 50 hours a week being away from this amazing, tiny little soul that just came into. I want to stay with him. What do I do? What do I want to do? How do I want to work this? And so immediately, hypnotherapy came screaming back to me. Remember that? Remember that was fun? You wanted to do that a long time ago. Why don't you do that? And so I got excited again, the same way it felt when I first learned about it. And then this is an important moment for everybody because I think everyone has a moment like this they can relate. You get excited about something, you remember that it lights you up, and then you have the voice say, like, well, hang on a second. For me, it said, you're a mom now, girl. You need to be responsible. Like, you got to do the sane thing, the rational thing, the reliable thing. Know where your money's coming from. Just go to work and protect the family that you've built. And I was kind of like, oh, and it also said, that's for other people, not for you. It actually, like, I remember that. That's for other people to do. And then I kind of was like, yeah, that's probably true. My shoulders slumped a little, my energy dimmed. And then I had this like whisper of a thought. It was very quiet, but it said, hang on a second, but why can't you? But
Mhm.
why can't you? Everyone who's ever done anything cool had to start with this fork in the road right now where it's like, do I do the reliable thing? Do I do the safe thing, the responsible thing, the real reality thing? Or do I do the thing that really makes me happy and scares the crap out of me? So I took a baby step. I said, what if I just called, see what was available? Maybe there's no institute in my area. Maybe there's no college, there's no school, there's no study, whatever. So I Googled it and I found one right down the street from where I was going to go back to work.
Mhm.
That's synchronicity number
Obviously.
one
Yeah.
in Los Angeles, by the way.
Mhm.
It's not a small hometown. Okay. This is
Mhm.
like huge, huge. So the chances were like, that was synchronicity number one. I go to a tour of the Institute and I was like, I fell in love immediately. The tour guide was like, she was also an instructor. This is how we do it. This is what you can expect. And I just was obsessed. And she goes, we just started a new semester yesterday. And I
Mhm.
said, okay, synchronicity number two.
Mhm.
So I called my husband and I was like, I really can I do this? And to be clear, I want to be clear with this part because I wasn't asking permission. I was more like, can you please give me a reason to back out right now?
Mhm. Mhm.
Because I think it's a very human thing when you're faced with something so unknown and daunting to be like, if there's any reason I shouldn't do this, please tell me because I'm scared.
Mhm.
And he just goes, do you really want to do this? And I said, I really do. And he goes, then we'll figure it out. You have to do it. Okay.
Mhm.
I guess I'm doing it. So I did it and I have zero regrets. And it was the best decision I ever made. One of them, one of the best decisions I ever made. And this is the synchronicity number 3 is probably the biggest one. After I graduated, I ended up working at the Institute, helping and instructing distance students. Okay, so I would take them through the distance education. I would answer their questions. I would help them transition into the next program. And when I started working there, I looked at my name in the database. I'm gonna get in trouble for this one day because I've said this so many times. They're gonna be like, "You did what?" Well, I mean, I wanted to see what they said about me as a student, right? So I wanted to see like what records they because I had like access. So why wouldn't you look yourself up? And I had 2 profiles, 2 accounts in their database. One as the student slash employee from 2013, and then another one from 2005 when I lived in Michigan still.
What?
So here's what happened. I do not remember. I still do not remember this.
Mhm.
But when I first read that book, I must have Googled college. I think it happened when I Googled, Michael Newton's Institute
Mhm.
in wherever it is, Northern California. And, when the results come up for California schools for hypnotherapy, that one must come up too. So
Mhm.
I think what I did, I must have filled out an application because I know this process now that I've worked there. I know what you have to do in order to get into the database. I
Mhm.
fill out an application. And then when they called me back, I just didn't answer because
Mhm.
I think I was going to try to do the distance program, but I didn't have the money. I didn't
Yeah.
have the will. I wasn't ready.
Wow.
But they had my old phone number, my old address. They in the notes it said like called twice to follow up, no answer. And I was like, oh, that's me. I did my soul did it then so that I would be here now looking back
Mhm.
at that moment as like, how could I be doing anything? I'm sitting in the chair of the office that I was going to study out of in 2005, eight
Mhm.
years earlier. Come on. You can't convince me I'm not supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
You just can't. And for some people, that might not be a big thing. But for me, that was, I need to be like slapped in the face with signs.
Oh,
Otherwise, I'm going to try. Yeah. I'm going to try to like explain it away. That
yeah.
one, I can't. I don't even remember doing it. But
Mhm.
I know myself, and I know that if I felt like the fire and did the thing and then thought about it and then they called me and then I got scared. I think every one of us has done that at one point.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's how I ended up here. I
I
know it's a long story. I think it took me like 10 minutes to tell that story.
No, you are so good. There's so much to unpack there, but I almost cut you off at the beginning when you were talking about your
Yeah.
friend saying like the show up and show off.
Yeah.
Because I've always said you need to slap me in the face with a sign, like
Yeah.
especially like in the early stages when it's like you're learning your own discernment and learning like what the intuition versus the ego or whatever voices, whatever you want to call it. So I'd always be like, slap me in the face with a sign
Yeah.
because
Slap me in the face.
needed that clarity almost. And that's so funny that you said that. And I was like, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
true.
exactly. And that whole process, I know now looking back, I know that was my intuition talking. I know that
Yeah.
was my limiting, like I have the words and the vocabulary now to be able
Yeah.
to say it. But then I was just like, it felt like I was being flung in all
Yeah.
directions, but I had to do it. It's a feeling like I can't stay here. I have to go to California. Do you know how
Hmm.
many family members were like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What do you mean? And I'd be like, I don't know. I just have to. I can't.
Yeah.
But it's like you just have to do it. But that whole process, that whole time of my life really taught me the difference. And I still do struggle with this a little because I'm a human, but the difference between an expansive fear and a contracting fear. A contracting
Hmm.
fear is something that is actual danger, like fire, a
Hmm.
predator, heights, if you're anything that could harm you physically or mentally or emotionally. An expansive fear is becoming a parent, it's moving across the country, it's getting married, it's starting a new job, it's, starting a business. It's anything that is the next step in
Hmm.
your life and will help you expand. But holy crap, is this scary because I've never done
Yeah.
it before. And we can go into the subconscious, process behind that, which I do want to do. It makes sense when you really know what your brain is doing. But yeah, an expansive fear versus a contracting fear is such an important distinction to have and to practice, because
Mhm.
that will help you decide the best direction to take, whether this is something that's actually good for you but a little bit scary because it's unknown,
Yeah.
or something that you just is not good for you. You know, sometimes a move across the country is a bad idea. Maybe you're moving with someone that isn't good for you. Maybe you're, moving for the wrong reasons, or I don't know. Everybody's different, but
Yeah.
knowing the difference in how it feels in your body is extremely important.
Two things. Oh my gosh. First,
We're gonna need to do a sequel,
I know,
girl.
I know. I was like, I'm writing down all these notes. So I actually just finished a free workshop of being able to reconnect to your felt sense to really harness that self-trust within you. So a lot of this stuff, because I hosted or I aired it on this podcast like the last 3 months, right? I released one workshop within that series. So very much the talk of that urgency, that force, that need to, that feeling inside where it's like so urgent, catastrophic. That's not the intuition. That's, that could be one of those fears that you're talking. That could be the ego. That could be
Mm,
a lot of different things versus that softness, that just that clarity. Like, I don't know why, but this is where I'm going,
yeah.
and that would be, the intuition. Or if you believe in higher power, Holy Spirit. Again, I love how you said this right at the beginning. Like, you do you, whatever your beliefs are, whatever your terminology
Yeah.
is, because my opinion, my belief, everything down to the core, it's the same. You just put your own
Yes.
terminology, you put your own vocabulary. I mean, studying different religions. We don't
Yep.
need to go down that. Like, we could go down so many different tangents, but there's
No,
just,
but everyone's making it up, man, because everyone's
yeah,
seeing their world through the lens of their experiences, their indoctrination, whatever that
yeah,
might be,
yeah.
their family, their friends, their authority
Mhm.
figures, themselves.
Yeah,
Uh, Nobody knows. There's just,
exactly.
and I think somewhere along the way, we just forgot how important it is to feel good. No
Hmm.
matter what you're doing, no matter how you're practicing, no matter what you believe, does this feel good? Does this feel true and
Yeah.
positive to me? And if it
Mhm.
doesn't, it's not for you, babe.
Yeah.
But there is
Well,
something that is.
right. Exactly.
And isn't it
Exactly.
fun that we live in a time where you actually get to explore any avenue you want, any
Mhm.
knowledge you want? After this, I'm learning uh well, I already did the Reiki, but I'm learning DNA activation because I bought a course
Ooh.
online and I really want to start learning DNA activation. I already do
Yeah.
Reiki, so I think it's going to be like a nice, you know,
Yeah.
add-on. Anyway, yeah, nobody knows.
Exactly.
Just please just feel good. Be happy. What the heck?
Yeah. Hmm.
What?
So, but no, this is funny too, because you said like the psychologist, maybe like, what did you say where it's like, that's not me? And I
Oh
like wanted
yeah.
to raise my hand. I'm like, I'm a Scorpio. That is
Yeah.
me.
Oh, babe. I have
Like,
my 7-year-old love bug is a Scorpio, and people keep telling me, like, be careful. And
yeah.
when he gets mad, he does have a little stinger, but it's never at me. He never gets mad at me. I can't do any, he's still 7, so I can't do any wrong yet.
Yeah,
Once
right. Oh
we'll
my gosh.
see.
But yeah, really just like the depths, the shadow, the transformation. Like, let's really get into that like felt sense. And that's what brought me
Yes.
to trauma work, into like our past, defining
Yes.
like our present life. And that's leads me to my second question of, you said a contracted, was that
Contracting. Mhm.
contracting fear and an expansive fear? Are those, I mean, are there more fears that you dive into, or are those like two big
I
ones?
mean, that's the general sense, but I'm sure there are many micro fears in between, but
Well,
those are
yeah.
the ones we really want to pay attention to.
Because something that, and not that I'm challenging your, obviously, nothing in that
No, let's
regard,
dive in.
but
Let's do it.
yeah, because as you're talking, I'm like, wait, because again, thinking back to the work that I do then, thinking our past, thinking our upbringing, thinking all those environmental factors, DNA, genealogical, like
Oh,
ancestral,
yes.
like an imprinted fear. Something,
Yes.
that subconscious piece of like, I don't know why, or just like that self-sabotaging piece of it, right?
Yeah. So
Hmm.
here's the thing. Okay, we need to talk about the subconscious because
Yeah.
I've started to like, I don't know if I'm just trying to be edgy. I don't think that's my style, but I've really kind of had trouble with this idea of like self sabotage
Mm-hmm.
because how we look at that is like, oh, I'm sabotaging myself. But I know, and what I hope you all will know when I'm done talking is that your subconscious has no interest in sabotaging you.
Right.
Its only job is to keep you
Hmm.
breathing. It is in charge of everything that keeps you alive
Hmm.
based on what it knows has kept you alive thus far. So I would love to kind of talk about this for a
Yeah.
second because I think
Yeah.
it will kind of blend everything else together. And then we can definitely talk about like imprinted fears. I do believe those are a thing. I also think that any kind of fear will fall under the umbrella of
Yeah.
contracting danger, expansive fear.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So So if you all could just pretend that your mind is a circle. We know that the mind and the brain are different things. We know that the mind is the metaphysical part of the brain. So just imagine a circle, and that's your mind, okay? When you're born, it's completely open, blank. They say children are sponges. That's actually true. Mm-hmm. They take in everything. When you're born, babies are born with two fears: fear of loud noises and the fear of falling. Those are evolutionary. They are non-negotiable. Every baby is installed with those two fears. And of course, the fight, flight, freeze, fawn, which is activated with those two fears. Mm-hmm. As you get older and start, crawling around your world and walking around and eventually speaking in your world, you start to take in everything. If you grow up learning the sky is purple, you're going to believe it because you have nothing in your mind yet to help you decide if that's true or not. Mm-hmm. Up until about age 7 to 9, it's a little bit soupy, but depending on the child, 7 to 9, mm-hmm. you get what's called a critical filter, critical mind, which acts as the barrier between the newly formed subconscious and conscious mind. Okay. Conscious mind holds your logic, reasoning, decision-making, analytical skills, and willpower. Mm-hmm. That's all of that is about 5 to 10% of your mind. Mm-hmm. And I'm being very generous because I've seen studies that say 1%. I've seen studies that say 11%. So we're just going to go 5 to 10% and just call it a day because I don't think we really know quite what the number is. So in that subconscious part now holds everything that you believe is true about you. I like chocolate. I hate broccoli. I love my birthday. I don't like my brother's birthday because that means I don't get presents. Mm-hmm. I like getting hugged. I don't like getting spanked or getting in trouble. We don't spank. Guys, we don't spank, right? Back when I learned this though, that was part of it. And I was like, really? Mm-hmm. We're going to say spank? I don't know about that. I don't like getting in trouble. All these things, the things that that are true about you. Mm-hmm. And also the automatic things you don't have to think about. Your beliefs, the sky is blue. Why is it blue? It just is. It's just blue. Mm-hmm. Your breathing, your digestion, your ability to ride a bike, your ability to speak, write. Choosing the words to say is a conscious activity, but the ability to speak is subconscious. So our minds, both parts of our mind is working together harmoniously all day, every day. The gestures I'm doing right now are now conscious, but they were subconscious a second ago before I started thinking about it, right? Mm-hmm. Imagine if you had to think about blinking, breathing, digesting your food. Like, there's a reason our subconscious takes care of it. There's a reason it's automatic. There is so much in your subconscious that if you really started to list it all out, you'd run out of paper. There's just so much. So that's about, 90 to 95% of your mind. Now, when you have a new thought or inspired idea or, I don't know, goal, intention, anything that really lights you up, like, oh, I want to do hypnotherapy, something like that. Mm-hmm. I want to start a business. I want more money. I want to get married. I want to have my ideal partner show up in my life. I want a good relationship. That's a big one. Money and relationships are probably the biggest, probably the biggest ones. Anything that you want. All goals start in the conscious mind, where it then checks in with the critical filter, the critical mind that we talked about. I kind of liken it to like a bouncer at a club, right? So you're in line, you're waiting to get in. The critical mind or bouncer checks the clipboard and sees if there's anything inside your subconscious that goes against that goal. For me, as I explained earlier, it was, you have to be responsible. You can't do something risky. That's danger. That's dangerous. And by the way, anything unknown to your subconscious is equally as dangerous as a known danger, a known threat. Right. So it's going to treat it as such. And if it's not compatible with your subconscious programming already, big flashing red lights are going to go off and it's going to be like, danger, danger, don't do this. Mm-hmm. And it's going to kick your idea right back out. It's not getting in. So that's why a new goal can feel very exciting at first. You start doing all the things, you start feeling inspired, and then something happens, that self-sabotage, heavy quotes on that, right, which is really just your mind trying to keep you alive. This goes against what we know will keep you alive because it's unknown, equally as dangerous, right? Mm-hmm. It just is. And so it's going to do everything it can to keep you safe and alive. Mm-hmm. If you want fulfilled, abundant, happy, loved, you just have to simply teach your subconscious that that is safe. Mm-hmm. And that's where I come in. That's what I love to do. I love to help people teach their subconscious that what you want is not only safe, but it's the natural next step for you. I can tell you how I do that with hypnotherapy, but that's the main point.
Yeah, no, I love that. And thank you for that because obviously we go very deep in that in the show. And I love just the analogies and visualizations that you brought with that too.
Yeah,
So, so good. You brought up two things, money, relationships. Can we segue? Like
sure.
it's bringing just
Girl,
like
I'll go wherever you want to go.
yeah, it's just bringing lots of like yeah, questions and then okay, so let's talk about this because I also agree when you said like the self-sabotage, like heavy quotes, so many things, like the buzzwordy things, right? Where it's like this word is probably very well known, even though I don't necessarily believe with it, but I'm gonna use this word because this is what people know, like the
Yeah,
generalization, I guess. So let's talk about money. Okay.
let's talk about
I,
money.
yeah. And like, cause money, manifestation, like two things that probably is very much like attractive to people, right? So money, tangible, can be tangible, very energetic, right? And that's something like that layer beneath the layer almost. How you working with clients or like their money mindset or whatever you want to call this, like that emotional weight that someone might carry with money, let it be fear, scarcity, guilt, shame around money. Like from your perspective, how do you work with those money beliefs? Like, do you work with where their origin was, and then how do we shift them? So kind of what you were just going to say, like how we do that with the subconscious, but like let's use a money example.
Well, first, I really want to bring attention to the fact and hold space for the fact
Mm.
that we, especially here in America, but I'm pretty sure it's a global thing, it is in the higher ups' best interest to assure us that money is scarce, to assure us that money is hard to get, that money doesn't grow on trees. I would say our generation or the generation right before, maybe our parents, but not my parents, maybe your parents, listener, would be the first generation to actually have multiple avenues of money, multiple options for revenue for centuries, for thousands of years. Humans have had to struggle to survive. Okay. That is science. That is a fact. We have had to struggle in scarcity, in lack, in sharing resources, in hoarding resources, in survival. And I think it's okay if it's hard for us to come out of that.
Mhm.
And of course, we have people who grew up hearing this from their parents like, oh, what do you think? I'm made of money and money doesn't grow on trees and you have to work hard for scraps and deal with it.
Mhm.
And even if you grew up in a house with abundance, it's definitely important to pay attention to what money beliefs you grew up with because those, I mean, again, all the way up until about 9 years old, whatever's in there is getting locked in there. It's just
Mhm.
that's going to become part of your programming. So if you have young children, that's the assignment, I guess, is make sure that you have a vested interest in what is going into their programming. But even if you grew up with not negative thoughts about money, you're still going to have society telling
Mhm.
you this. You're still going to have the world that we live in. And so it's not, I've started paying more attention to this in recent months slash the last year because even for myself, I found myself busting through this belief and that belief. And okay, now I feel good about this. And still, we have to talk about the society that's created this. And so I
Mhm.
think how I deal with money with clients is in transition and is changing and evolving to adapt for that as well, because it's not something that a lot of people will talk about. They'll be like, well, what do you experience? Okay, but then I still have to go out into the world
Yeah.
and and deal with the rules that this 3D reality has, right? So can we make the rules? Yes. Is everybody making it up? Yes. Do we still have to deal with the rules that everybody's made up? Yeah. And so I think that how I help people with money is already dealing with how they relate to money and also how they can navigate the world that has taught them that it's not something that they can have. It's not something that they can have in abundance. And realistically,
Mhm.
it's unlimited. There's no limit to the amount of money you can have. Because if you look at it economically, we're already in debt and we just keep making more money.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
nobody cares. So you can make as much money as you want. And aren't we lucky to live in a time? Once again, I'm going to say, aren't we so lucky to live in a time where we have almost every option available to us, at least at the time, at this moment of our conversation, we have almost every option available to us. So
Mm-hmm.
how fun is that you get to explore all the ways to make money, multiple streams of income? My favorite way, going back to your question, to help people really get down to what their blocks are, I guess, with money, what their patterns are with money, what their programming is with money, is to find out what their energetic relationship is to money. So everybody can do this right now, actually, if you want to. Just visualize, imagine money was a symbol, money was a person, money was a representation of some kind. For me, now just close your eyes. And if I say, create a symbol or image for money, the energy of money, just notice what will come up. The first thing that comes, don't worry about making it difficult. This is easy. This is so easy.
Mm-hmm.
Just whatever comes up. Pause this if you need more time to think. But for me, it is the Geico stack of money with the eyeballs on top. You know what I'm talking about? It was an old commercial from like my high school years. It was like, it's just a stack of money with eyeballs. It's very, very straightforward. I've had clients say it's a diamond, it's a money sign. Some people say it's a tree. Some people say it's like the wind or just an energy or a color or a texture. It doesn't matter. It can be whatever. And the more personal it is to you, the better, because this is your signature. You know, it's your fingerprint for what money is. Now, if this were a symbol or an image, what would it say if you asked it, how do I treat you, money? Hey, money, how do I treat you? What do you know about how I feel about you? How do you feel about me?
Mm-hmm.
And just journal around that, and that will give you so many. And please don't overthink it. I promise you, I promise you, if I could tell people, the world, anything, it would be like, I promise you already have the answer. And I know it's frustrating to hear that. I do, because you want someone to give it to you, and I still want people to give me answers all the time, but I also, begrudgingly accept the fact that I already know.
Mm-hmm.
And if I told you the answer, it would have no effect on you, because it's not yours and it's not your intuition. It's not your knowledge, it's mine. Don't you
Mm-hmm.
want yours? Anyway, journal around these questions. And then if you want to, this is all in hypnosis, by the way, so it's much more potent if you're actually, in hypnosis doing this. But these are definitely journal questions you can do
Mm-hmm.
awake. But in the hypnosis journey, I have them switch places with money. So money becomes them and they become money, and they look out into the world as money. They step into the energy as money and they see the world. And then they get that perspective. Like, how does money see the world? And for me, money was very sad when it saw the world, because it was like, I just want to help people. People
Mm-hmm.
are calling me evil. People are calling me dirty. People are saying that I'm nothing. People are saying that I'm everything. They have so many misconceptions about me. And I just want to show up as a resource. That's all I want to do. That's all I'm here to do. And it made me so sad. I will never look at money the same way again.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
this was like 13 years ago. This was a long time ago. And I've never forgotten that. And here's the thing about hypnosis this is why it works. Okay. Why it works so well. If it happens in hypnosis, it happens in the subconscious mind. And if it happens in the subconscious mind, it happened,
Mm-hmm.
period.
Mm-hmm.
In the way that, like, you wake up from a dream and it felt so real and it sticks with you for so long and then it kind of fades away, this sticks with you forever. And it will be just as vivid. If you have an experience with a guide, with changing your money story, with finding an inner sanctuary that you can go to and just feel at peace and have everything you need, that's going to stay with you forever, because it is that powerful. It happened to you, just like any other experience has happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool. That's
Oh,
basically my point.
so I want to kind of zoom out a little bit because you're just getting me really fired up now. And then I'm like having these drop-ins of like the buzzwords and
I know. I'm
right.
sorry. I
So, but no, but this is good though
can't help
because
it.
like to zoom out a little bit because you're talking big time, like you're saying hypnosis and like journaling and working through these things. But maybe someone's goal or intention isn't money. So let's talk about
Mm-hmm,
manifestation.
mm-hmm,
Let's
mm-hmm.
talk about, because insert that buzzword of like, oh, manifestation, think positively, wait for the universe to deliver. Like, I have a lot to say about manifestation. I would like to hear your input. What are like some of the biggest myths Or do you think it's a buzzword? Like, I want to hear kind of what you think is maybe misunderstood or those myths about manifesting.
I mean, the biggest one that kind of tripped me up for a long time. Okay, I'm gonna give two, but they kind of two sides of the same sword. I don't know. Anyway,
I
I
get it.
struggled with that one. Two sides of the same coin is what I want to say. Number one, feel your damn feelings. I
Hmm.
should put that on a t-shirt, okay?
Oh, I
Because
have
when we
one. Your
hear
feelings are valid. I have one.
it was, yeah, feel however you feel.
Hmm.
Number one, feel how you feel. Everything is a message. If you feel shitty, sorry, can I swear?
Yes, you may.
If you feel like a pile of shit,
Hmm.
it's a message. If you
Hmm.
feel sad, that's a message too. If you feel anxious, yesterday I was feeling this unknown ball of anxiety in my chest and I could not figure it out. And so, you know what I did? I moved my body because sometimes for me, I just need to move it out. It just
Hmm.
something needs to process out. And if that doesn't work, I will sit silently for 5 minutes and be like, what is this? What's going on? Is it the fact that I have a lot of chores to do? Is it and I'll just kind of run through all the reasons why I might feel anxious, and something usually comes, and then I can allow space for it. But if I'm just spending all my time ignoring and shoving down my anger and my sadness and my anxiety, it's actually doing the opposite of what you want it to do. You'll feel it for longer, it will stop you for longer. Whereas if you take 5 minutes and feel your damn feelings and understand why you feel them, get to know yourself better, you're never going to regret doing that.
Hmm.
To know yourself is to love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, it's because you don't know yourself that well yet. And that's okay because you have your whole life. You have
Hmm.
your whole life to do it. So I would highly recommend feeling your feelings, finding out why you feel them, getting the nugget of value that's from every feeling that you feel, because it's never for no reason.
Hmm.
Your feelings are valid. And how cool is that? You have a meter to give you messages for everything. You
Hmm.
just got to figure out what the message is. Sometimes it takes a little time to translate. That's okay. It does for all of us.
Hmm.
The other thing, the other side of that coin is uh if you do feel bad, right? Because that's the fear is like, I don't want to feel bad because I don't want to manifest something bad. I think is what I'm gathering from people.
Yeah, yeah. I
I don't
like
want
this
to sit too
direction.
long in this feeling because then bad things will happen. Here's the thing. Here's one thing that I've learned that I love, and you will have to clutch this idea from my cold dead fingers. Heavy energy, low vibrations move so much slower than high vibrations. So
Mhm.
if you feel like crap, allow yourself to feel like crap. It's not going anywhere for long enough to affect you in a negative way unless you sit in a pity party for longer than you need to. And we've
Mhm.
all done that too, please believe. Okay, we've all done it. We are all human here, trying our best. But if you feel your feeling, allow it to process out. It's not going to touch your manifestation. In fact, it will help your manifestation. The universe will see that you're willing to feel these things. The universe, your higher self, whatever, will see that you are willing to do the work. And that's when it shows up faster. That's kind of what I believe. And so it is.
Yeah.
Right? Like what you believe is what is. And so if you want to believe that your negative feelings will affect you negatively, you're only perceiving that in that way, then you're going to see negative things, babe.
Hmm.
But I believe, and I know that it's true because I've experienced it for me, is that when I feel like crap, the low vibrations move slower.
Hmm.
It's low and slow, babe. And then when it's high, everything happens faster. And it'll only get high when you allow it, when you allow the feeling.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
gosh.
Did I answer that? I don't know.
No, that was it was beautiful because I'm like thinking of like conversations I have with my 7-year-old. Like how humbling is it to work with adults, but then have your kids and it's like, okay, how can I translate this, for that development? I just in
Girl,
your face, I know that you're like,
I have a Pisces 10-year-old who just I'm trying my best. I'm like, you are so great. How come I wish you could see how much we are obsessed with you. I love you so much. And he just gets down on himself so fast. If he can't do
yeah.
it perfect the first time,
Hmm.
what is that? And I
Yeah.
know it's not, I'm like, how did I get this child? Because I am so the opposite. I mean, I
Mhm.
am now, of course, but I know that our kids are ours to shine a light on, a mirror, a
Yeah.
light on what we need to work on. And he's definitely that for my husband as well. So it is so much harder to work with our family, right?
Hmm.
Our friends,
Hmm.
ourselves. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I
You
know.
can't see it as
I
well.
know. Yeah. And it helps me too, because I'm like, if I can explain this to a 7-year-old, that concept has to be simple enough to then bring it to an adult.
Yep. Yep.
So, but I mean, you hit the nail on the head because I believe the same exact thing that you do because I've had that question before. Like, okay, if I could manifest my future and like all these bells and whistles and whatever you want, you can have. Well, can it be the same? On the flip side, and it's like, well, okay, if you want to get into like physically manifesting illness and all this stuff,
Hmm.
okay. However, I mean, you said it so simply, like it's heavier, it moves slower. So not to say like, because that's where kind of you said the same thing with like the two coin, whatever you
Two
said.
sides of the same coin. I know. Why is that so hard today? What is
Because it's
going
like
on?
it's almost like, okay, if I feel my feelings, then I'm going to manifest it to be bad. And it's like,
Yeah.
but no, it's almost like two different layers. It's like two different things.
You
It's,
know what you said? What's so funny is like manifesting illness or whatever. Do you know a really great way to manifest an illness? To ignore your feelings.
yeah.
That is like one of the best ways if you ever want to be sick.
Seriously, though, it really
Just ignore
is.
your feelings and it will show up. Here's the thing. And I know you know this. I'm in talking to, everyone else and myself sometimes.
Absolutely. I'm here to learn, girlfriend.
When you tell your feelings that they're not important enough to pay attention to, it's always going to come out somehow. It's going to get louder. It's going to be like, oh, you didn't listen to me that time. Let me show up in a way that will make you listen.
Yeah.
So might as well be intentional with it. Might as well show
Mhm.
yourself, because it's doing two things. Number one, it's allowing it to process faster. Number two, it is showing yourself, your higher self, the universe, like I said before, that you are that important
Yeah.
to care enough. Because why would you expect a beautiful future if you don't care about yourself enough to even listen to your feelings, right? Like it doesn't, when you think about it like that, it doesn't really make sense.
Mhm.
Why should your higher self, your soul, the universe, your guides grant you access to this higher timeline when you don't even care about your feelings right now?
Mhm.
There's never going to be a magical moment where you start to care unless you do it now.
Right.
Then it will be easier. Anyway, I could talk for days about that.
I know,
One of my
same.
biggest pet peeves.
Well, right, because it's like, okay, I understand where you're at because heaven forbid if I sulk in this for too long, then it's gonna get bigger or whatever. But it's like, but no, like that's what you need
Yeah.
to give it that space. You need to show yourself that it's safe to hear that message, whatever it might be. And it's like, I haven't been able to put words in this, so maybe you could help me. But I see it as like two separate layers or two separate things, right? Like you're present, feel the feelings, but then your
Hmm.
broader soul, your perspective of reality, like that's where you're living in that the love, the high frequency
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things. But in the moment, I feel like shit, I'm overstimulated. Me, Jenna, Lynn Smith, like that is my like struggle all the
Every
time. Is
single day, girl. Especially
yeah.
lately. I don't know. I know that we're not alone in this, guys. I know that you're feeling it. There's something which I like to assume is magical and good, but
Mhm.
it feels really weird,
Yeah.
especially right now. Anyway, go on. I was
But
just
yeah, but it's like the two separate buckets or the two different layers, or
yes.
bring in quantum physics, like the two separate timelines, whatever you want to picture this as. But like the present life, feel the feelings. Don't let that scare you with the bigger picture, because your bigger picture, your higher self, your soul, is in that higher frequency
Yeah,
already. Does that make sense? Am I?
absolutely. No,
Yeah.
I think you explained it really well. It's kind of like Esther and Abraham Hicks talk about the energetic escrow or something like that, where your
Oh.
your your manifestation is already happening
Hmm.
in a timeline that you're just not aligned with yet.
Hmm.
I'm putting my own words into this now, but it's
Yeah.
basically like it's already here. It's already
Right.
happening. There's a version of you that's experiencing it. You just have to align with that person. And the way to do that is to guess what?
Hmm.
Care about yourself enough to feel your feelings.
Yeah.
Um, and by the way, I wanted to okay, so two things that I feel very inspired to talk about before we kind of
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
our separate ways. I don't want to, but
I
anyway,
know. We'll come back.
number one, I would love to give what I like to do to make sure I don't sit in the feeling for too
Oh yeah.
long, to know when it's enough time. And
Mhm.
then I would love to talk about myths and things that are completely false about hypnosis, because there's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, let's do it.
And I
Go.
feel like people need to know. And I
Yeah.
haven't talked about the myths in a while, so I feel like there's going to be a nice refresher.
Yeah.
Um, I like to first know why I'm feeling it. If you don't know why you're feeling it, it will last longer. Okay. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is everything. Acknowledgement is step one. So once you are able to sit and be quiet, sit and shut up for a minute, love you, but shut up for a minute and listen, ask a question. Why might I be feeling this way? I like to put my hand on my heart and my hand on my solar plexus. Okay. So those two, you can't see me, but those are my two ways to connect. I might get a crystal. I might not. It doesn't matter. Feel into it and breathe and just be like, why might I be feeling this way? You might know immediately. It might take a minute, but once the question is asked, your mind, your higher self will work to get the answer to you. So whether it's now, a few minutes from now, in a daydream, while you're doing the dishes, the answer will come. So ask the question, ask the question. And then once you know, or once you have an idea, I like to give myself a time limit. So like, okay, Lynnsey, we know why we feel this way. It is okay to feel this way. I'm going to give myself 24 hours to feel as horrible as I want. I'm going to do whatever I want and feel horrible. I'm going to sit in bed, or I'm going to binge watch TV, or I'm going to do whatever I want for 24 hours. And by then it'll be gone and I'll get back to my badass self. Make sure to call yourself a badass too. It really helps. Just a pro tip there. And it always is. It's always gone by then. But the most important thing is you have to ask the question. You are not meant to do this alone. You're just not. You have a whole team of guides, of angels, of ancestors. Whether or not you acknowledge them or not, doesn't matter. You can just be like, hey, spirit team, whoever's willing to come assist me with this, I am willing to do the work. Just let me know what I need to know. That's all you got to do.
And hug yourself.
And hug yourself and call yourself a badass.
Yeah.
The superhero stance. I do that sometimes.
I love it. Hug yourself and then assume.
You know the superhero stance? This is psychology. It actually works. But basically, if you just picture a superhero and stand like a superhero,
right? I
you
didn't
just
know
do like this solid, not like a V of your legs. Camera here. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
And just hand on your hips, chin up, shoulders back. It's like magic.
Yeah. I love it.
Just do it. It really does help. And in the same way that, like, did you know if you stick a pencil in your mouth like this, in the shape of like a grimace or a smile, it activates the same chemicals as a smile?
Seriously.
Yeah. We're just magical vessels, guys.
We are.
We have so many superpowers. Yes.
We really are. Like even the sway and just like the rock, like the humming, the sighing, like there's so much to like activate that parasympathetic or the vagus nerve, like little activation. Oh, so many things. We could be here for hours.
Could be here for hours. Yeah, I know. I did not expect to go into all of these things today, but that's what I think is so magical about these talks is like, it's going to be exactly, hopefully, what people need to hear. And I have no expectation. I just say what I know.
Yeah.
And it lands well.
Like a little bit of a lot. And then it's like, hey, here, if you want more, like, here's my website. And we'll get to that in a minute. But I want you to, now you're the myths.
Okay. Top three. I'll just do my top three. Number one, it is sleep. It is not sleep. You're not asleep. If you've ever had a deep tissue massage or like a nice relaxing massage or a meditation, a guided meditation is a hypnosis, by the way. It's just a lighter state of hypnosis. Hypnosis goes a little deeper, but if you've ever sat and had someone speak to you and guide you through a journey, guess what? You're already good at this. You're already an expert. Also, we go into hypnosis all day, every day. All day we go into varying states of trance. So you already know how. Again, you're an expert already. So that's probably number one. You're not asleep. You're hyper aware. In fact, you are I like to call it 1 foot in, 1 foot out of reality. So like, you're in the chair or the bed or up against the wall. Like I have people sit up against the wall sometimes if they don't have anywhere else to go. You know where you are in the room, but you also know that you are in your inner sanctuary. You are having a chat with money or your spirit guide or your higher wisdom or your, stopping a habit, reconnecting to a loved one. Whatever it is that we do in hypnosis, you are there and not there. You are in two places at once. And I think that's the best way I can explain it. But if you've ever had a trance-like state, if you can recall what that feels like, or the dreamy floaty state right before you wake up, right before you go to bed, same thing. Which brings me to my next, it's not a myth, but this is a hack. Okay. So everybody take this with you, write this down if you need to, use it. The first 30 minutes after you wake up and the last 30 minutes before you go to bed. are the prime time for subconscious work. If you want to teach your subconscious anything without hiring a hypnotherapist, do it in those windows, because your subconscious is still hyper receptive and taking in everything that you say. So intention work, manifesting work, morning mindset is important because of that. Because I like to put it because of that, because you have that magic 30 minutes where your mind is just listening. Okay, what do you want? What do you want me to know? And then the last 30 minutes right before you go to bed. So that's a fun one. Okay, so the next one would be like, oh yeah, can you make me remember trauma? I get this question a lot, and I would say I probably could, but I will never. It's not what I want to do. I don't like to go on what I call fishing expeditions in your mind. If you don't remember something, or if you have repression, if you feel like you have repression and you want to use hypnotherapy to go back and remember a trauma, please don't do it. Please. Please. Pretty please. Because if you have a repression, it's like when you scrape your knee and you get a scab, right? What does your mom say? Don't pick your scab. Because why? Because it's not healed yet. It's going to cause a scar. It's going to cause more harm than good. It's this, I say this as someone who I have repression. Okay. I know what this is like to not know, to have gaps. And I know that when and if my mind is ever ready to process it, I will know, because that's how beautiful your mind is. That is how powerful you are. When your mind is ready, the scab will fall off and it will be healed, and you'll know.
Yeah.
So that's a big question. And just before you hire someone to do this, please understand, you don't need to. If you know your trauma and you want to work through it, that's completely different. If you don't know your trauma and you think you might have trauma, because here's also the thing, there's something called, I forget what it's called. I don't do this work, so it's hard for me to remember, but it's basically like implanted memories in the hypnotic state. Again, like I said, will feel real to you, but they don't necessarily mean they are. So use with caution. Don't use at all. Don't go to somebody hoping that they'll uncover something, because if you remember something or experience something in hypnosis, there will be no way for your mind to know whether it actually happened or it didn't happen. So I only use it for good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For
No,
good and for healing.
exactly. I mean, because I do work with trauma. However, caveat here,
Well, yes.
It's not that we necessarily need to relive the trauma, because there is
Right.
emotional flooding, nervous system flooding, excuse me. There is
Exactly.
re-traumatization. So I agree with everything that you're saying, because
Exactly.
the rewiring of maybe something that wasn't even necessarily true. So there's
Yes.
definitely, yeah, I work with somatic therapy, so very much the felt senses versus
Absolutely.
the
I
reliving of it.
loved I love
Yeah.
somatic therapy. Oh my God. You're coming on our podcast.
Yes, I am. Couple months
I
though.
would
Summer.
love to talk about
Yeah.
somatic stuff, because
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it. Okay. Especially because for trauma
You don't need to relive the
survivors,
trauma. Yeah.
for survivors especially, there is a disconnect. You disconnect from your body 9 times out of 10. You
Yeah.
meet a trauma survivor, especially abuse and physical trauma, you find that there's a disconnect. And so somatic healing, oh my God, beautiful work. Anyway, one more. I was going to do one more
Yeah.
myth. Okay, so we got, it's not sleep. Oh, will I lose control of my mind or
Mhm.
body? Right? Can you make me do things I don't want to do? No. And this is so important. No one can hypnotize you without your consent.
Mhm.
It's not a thing. But then you start to think how many times you've been silently consenting under the table, like freak, this is conspiracy stuff, but they say like people, the frequency they use in commercials, in advertising, in music, the way that the church is set up, they have the pedestal, the authority figure in the right clothes, they have you standing and sitting and doing all these and chanting back. That's guys.
Right. Right.
That's an induction. You're going into
Mhm.
hypnosis. So there's a lot of, like I said, we go into trance all day, every day. But if a hypnotherapist or a stage hypnotist also was like, I'm going to hypnotize you without your consent, it can't happen. It cannot happen. I'm so good at my job, and I cannot hypnotize you unless you give me permission,
Right.
especially with therapeutic hypnosis, because we need trust. We need rapport. We need that
Yeah.
safe environment in order for it to even be effective.
Well, you're
So
creating that safety for someone probably too.
exactly. So
Yeah.
it's not a thing. So if somebody comes to me and they're like, "Oh, my wife's making me come," yeah, no, can't. It won't
Yeah.
work. I mean, waste of time. So
Mhm.
don't. It can't happen. And also, it can't happen. So you're safe.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it. Yeah. So it can't happen without your consent, and you are, you have to to play a role in the even the stage hypnosis. There is a level of willingness to pull your pants down and quack like a duck.
Mhm.
There just is.
Mhm.
You can't say like, oh, he made me do it. Okay, but you allowed yourself to be put in a receptive state in order to not care. It's like when you have 5 tequilas and you're on the bar dancing, you're like,
Right.
I can't believe I did that. It's kind of the same idea, but
Yeah.
without that, it's alcohol free.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's probably the top three ones. Can you think of any that you've heard? That's pretty much it. The movie Get Out is complete nonsense.
Mm,
I love Jordan Peele, but it makes me so angry when people make
really?
hypnosis movies like that. And I'm like, come on, we're fighting a battle already. I can't
Well,
be I'm
that's a
fighting
whole other
misconceptions
podcast.
left and right. I can't
That
be fighting this too.
right. Gosh, we could come back on and talk another hour about that.
I
Just
know. It's been
it's like,
it's been
yeah.
I'm so sorry. I do if I'm telling the truth, I kind of do this on every podcast. It's like, okay, yeah, 30 minutes and then there's just more. There's always more.
I
There's so
know
much to talk about.
there is, and I have cherished our time together. So, Lynnsey, tell us, how can we support you? Where can we find you? What services do you offer to
Okay. So you did mention my app in the beginning, so I want to talk about that just a little bit. My
Mhm.
my app is a hypnotherapy app. It also has EFT, which I'm also certified in. So I do EFT, and there's a lot of sessions in there around money and manifesting and loving yourself. And I have a sugar one if you want to cut down on sugar.
Mm,
Got an EFT for that. I have hypnosis for every topic under the sun. I mean, every single topic and more all the time. I'm constantly creating new content to put in there. There's manifesting hacks. There, my favorite ways. Like today, I'm doing my money bowl. So I think I'm going to make a tutorial for that one. But I have a money jar that I put in the
mm,
app. We have journal prompts. We have toolkits. I mean, it's endless. There's a lot of free
yeah.
content on the app. So if you don't want to join up with the membership, you can download the app for free and still get the free audios that are included in the free. There's I think it's a 3-minute nervous system reset that I have in the
Oh,
free
I love it.
content as well. So yes, go check it out, please. It's called Align Your Mind, and it's on iOS. It's on the iPhone App Store, but it's not on Google App Store. It is on a Google browser though. So if you just search Align Your Mind app or go to my website, lynnseyrobinson.com, you can find the app there. Again, free content there. And then my podcast, High Vibin' It, which you're coming on in a couple weeks. Very excited. And Spiritual Kinks. Spiritual Kinks is the one I go to talk about like weird stuff. Like I want to talk about fairies. I want to talk about mermaids. Bigfoot. Is it real? I
Mhm.
don't ever I mean, I do take sides actually. Never mind. I was gonna be like, I try to stay unbiased. No, I don't. I don't. But I invite everyone obviously to just hear the information and believe what they want to believe. I just think it's fun. It's so fun to talk
Mhm.
about if there's portals in Antarctica. Like that's fun. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm here to have fun. So we talk about really weird stuff on that on that podcast. But I
Oh,
love
I
it. It's
love
so
it.
much fun.
I want to be a
And
fly on the wall on that podcast. I love
yeah,
it.
it is very fun. The newest episode was about lost civilizations and like what happened. Anyway, and then my website. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. If you want to work with me as a client, it is so much fun. I love working with clients one on one. It's just such a potent
Hmm.
container. Every hypnosis is catered to you and your specific story, obviously. So it's a lot more personalized and a lot more effective. And if you want to just do the app, do the membership, that's fine too. It's a nice way to dip your toes in the content, see how it works for you. If you have any questions, DM me. I'm always open for a chat. Talk to you about any questions you might have. But I think that's it. I think my website, social media, app, clients, I got a lot
Yay.
going on.
Yeah. All in
I
the
need
best
a
way
I need a
possible.
nap.
And welcome to summer.
I know, right? Jeez.
Oh my gosh, yay. Well, I will link everything in the show notes for everyone listening. And Lynnsey, thank you. Just thank you so much just for coming and just jiving with my energy. And I'm just so grateful for everything that you had to share and just your willingness to be here and all the things. Thank you.
This was actually so much fun. Thank you for letting me come on and talk to you. And I'm going to go manifest some money now. And I hope you all take advantage of whatever day you're listening to this on. Go take advantage of the day, write some intentions, connect to your guides, sit and ask some questions, get some wisdom, and unlock your superpowers. I know it's cliche, but you really do have them. You might as well use them,
We are magical beings. Until next week, our dear listeners, as always, simply be you. You have everything inside of you to learn your energy of alignment and be unapologetic in who you are. We are sending our love and light.
Did you find this episode free or empowering? Please read my review. Tickle, boop.
Thank you for spending this sacred time with me on Naturally Empowered Living. If this episode brought you closer to stepping into your energy of alignment, I'd love for you to leave a written review and share how this show has supported your journey. Your feedback truly lights me up and helps others find the space of transformation. And sharing it with someone who might need it spreads the ripple of healing even further. Be sure to check the show notes for ways to connect with me and explore personalized healing sessions and mentorships to deepen your self-awakening journey. Thank you. I appreciate all you are and all you do.